This is Ashley's Heart Song, and I am your host, Ashley Torian. Thank you for joining me today. We are here to master the mind and the stress that steals our life. Y'all, this is about tapping into the song of your heart. When we do this one thing, live through that inspiration day in and day out, that is when we are truly free. This is part 2 of the summer series, Your Greatest Power. I am reading a book titled Your Greatest Power, and it is by J. Martin Kohe. Let me get it right here. I have an old copy. I believe it was written in 1953. And it is a wealth. It is a gem. It is a golden nugget. And it's short. Each chapter is super short. Last week, we started on discovering what your greatest power is. And that greatest power is your power to choose. Your power to choose in any given moment, whether you decide to view life as wonderful, joyful positivity, or if you choose the negativity, woe is me. We have a choice in every given moment, and that is our greatest power. And so over the course of the next 4 weeks, we're going to be going through the rest of the chapters in the book. And this week, it's about choosing wealth. And I know money is a big topic for a lot of people. I know it's a big topic for me. This is something that most people want to dive into, and they want to learn, how do I create more income? How do I create more wealth for me and my family? How do I stop feeling the lack and start feeling the abundance? And in this book, he goes over choosing wealth. So before we head into that chapter, I want us to check in for just a moment and see what our vitality score is for this week. We look at our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health, and our spiritual health. And it is on a scale of 1 to 10. So let's start with the mental. Mentally, how are you this week? Did you start with, that smile on your face and you couldn't wait to get out of bed? You are probably scoring close to a 10 on your mental health this week. If you are looking forward to things, if you are thinking positively about things, then you are on that scale between 5 and 10, 7 and 10. Mark down your number. If you are below that, if you woke up this morning and went, oh my gosh, another week, no way. If it's that feeling of that you have in your thoughts, negativity, I don't have enough, or I don't feel well, any of that, then that right there, that score is between a 1 and a 5. That is for mental health. If you got stinking thinking, it's below a 5. All right, next, we're going to go to emotional health. Emotionally, where are you today, right now, in this moment? Do you feel emotionally balanced? Do you feel joyful? Do you feel happy? Do you feel positive? Are your emotions in check? Or are you all over the place? That's going to score you below that 5. If your emotions, if you're moody, edgy, any of that, it's going to be 5 or below. If you are feeling left field emotions, then you are above a 5. So score yourself from 1 to 10. Where are you emotionally? And then physically, where are you? Between 1 and 10. 10, you are strong. You are powerful. You feel like you've just got energy to last all through the day. Or are you closer to a 1 where you feel lethargic? Your body doesn't feel like it's just got that oomph today. Then you're going to score closer to a 1. Put your score down for physical health today. And then we want to look at spiritually. Where are you spiritually? Are you connected, in alignment? Do you know that there is a higher power at work here and you are leaning in with faith, knowing that everything's going to unfold for your highest good? Or are you feeling a little below the line in thinking and feeling and disconnected spiritually and feeling like, you know what, nothing ever works out for me? This is not you just feel that disconnection, then that's going to score you below the 5, closer to the 1. Tally up your score. Your high score is a 40. If you're above a 30, keep knocking it out of the park. You're doing great. If you scored below a 30, look at those areas of your life where you were scoring lower and bring some attention and awareness to that this week. And hopefully this book, Your Greatest Power, will help you in elevating your score. I know when I bring myself back and begin reading this again, because I've read it several times since college. I got this book in college in one of my classes, and I love it. It is stuck with me and been with me ever since, even though I can get off the bandwagon because I'm human, right? I'm human. I am going to go into that a little bit, but I always remember, wait a minute, it is my choice how I want to look at this. I get to choose if I'm going to feel good through this or if I'm going to feel bad through this. I have that power to choose in any given moment what is going to happen for me. And you have that same power. You do. So this week we're looking at choosing wealth. What is that about? Let's take a look. I'm hoping that it will come up on my computer. Ah, yes. Here we go. All right, y'all. Your Greatest Power by J. Martin Poe. All right. Choosing wealth. Millions of people are seeking wealth. They would like to be able to say to themselves, now I don't have to worry about money anymore. They would love to be free from money worries, so they scheme, plan, and try many different ways to help themselves financially, and nothing seems to work. The result is that they become discouraged and decide that they are not the ones who will achieve this inevitable position. They tried everything but changing their thoughts, the one thing that would make the difference. Some time ago, we came into contact with a man who was having all kinds of financial trouble. His wife explained that she was afraid to go to the door because the only people who came to the door were bill collectors. It was a very discouraging situation. We gave this family a book that we thought would help them improve their thinking. The wife looked at the book and said, I wouldn't read that stuff. There is nothing to it. The husband said, I'll read it, leave it here. The result was the man began to think differently. He showed a new spirit of living. Within a year's time, they moved into a better neighborhood. They bought a whole house full of new furniture. He even made a down payment on a new car. We did not give the man any money. Certainly, money would have helped him, but it would only have been a temporary lift. What we did do was to start the man on the right road of choosing his thoughts from improving his financial status, for improving his financial status. That is what we need if we are going to improve our financial positions. If we do not change our thinking, we can never hope to change our financial positions. What most of us fail to realize is that a tooth grows from the inside out. So we must change our inner thoughts. As we change our inner thoughts about our financial positions, the outward change is bound to come about. So let us choose good, healthy thoughts about money and finances. By using this great power to choose in the right direction, you are bound to improve your financial station. But too many people, through their own failure to use this great power, have made themselves slaves to the very thing they have wanted to avoid. There was a young man for whom life had been quite a struggle. He had been unemployed for quite a length of time. He finally obtained employment that was by no means anything to be proud of. Yet, this same young man who was married and had a youngster had the nerve to say, I don't want to be rich. He was trying to set aside a few pennies every day so that his son would be able to go to college someday. This man was wise enough to choose to set aside a little money for his son's education. To say that it was a struggle is putting it mildly. He refused to go to a downtown movie, instead preferred to go to a neighborhood show in order to save a quarter. He refused to go to a better type of restaurant because it would cost more money. When he went to the legitimate theater, he would buy balcony seats instead of orchestra because that was all he could afford. When he bought a car, he bought the most economical kind of car. He was unable to take his family on a vacation because he couldn't afford to do it. This man had the nerve to choose to say, "I don't want to be rich." Is it any wonder that millions of people are steeped in poverty, not realizing it, they choose to remain poor? They fail to recognize this great power. No one can be blamed for being economical. Many people must be thrifty or they would not get along at all. But these same people could be making use of this great power to choose. They could start to fill their minds with the better things of life. Instead, we hear day after day people saying, "I would like that, but I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I can't afford it." It's true, but don't say it. As long as you continue to say, "I can't afford it," you will go all through your life with, "I can't afford it." Choose a better thought. Say, "I'll buy it. I'll get it." When you build up the thought that you will get it, that you will buy it, you build up the thought of expectancy. You build up your hope. Never, ever destroy your hope. When you destroy your hope, then you have created for yourself a life of difficulty and disappointment. A young man who didn't have a dollar to his name said, "One of these days I am going to Europe." A friend sitting nearby started to laugh and said, "Look who's talking." 20 years later, the man and his wife went to Europe. The man did not say, "I want to go to Europe, and I suppose I will never be able to afford it." He had the hope. The hope gave him spirit. The spirit moved him to do things so that he would be able to go to Europe. When you say, "I can't afford it," everything stops. The hope is gone. The mind becomes dulled. The spirit is gone. Then we choose to believe that nothing can be done about it. This great power, the power to choose, will give you the necessary hope, the necessary spirit, the necessary courage to carry on and get the things from life that you really want. Allen, in his little book, As a Man Thinketh, says that thoughts are things. We like to change it to read, thoughts become things. The telephone was a thought in the mind of Bell before it became a telephone. The harvester was a thought in the mind of McCormick before it became a harvester. The electric bulb was a thought in the mind of Edison before it became an electric bulb. John D. Rockefeller, when he didn't have a dime to his name, said, "Someday I'm going to become a millionaire." And he did. So you must realize that the things that you want out of life are thoughts first before they become things. Our financial condition is a thought first, then a reality. If we want to change our financial picture, we must first change our thought. If we choose to change our inner thoughts, our outer conditions must change. That's the law. When you choose thoughts of, "I can't afford it, I'll never get it, I am one of the blessed poor," you are blocking the pathway to your good. Choose your thoughts. You can change your thoughts. You can. Use your imagination in the beginning, if necessary. You will never regret it. Things will begin to happen for you. Changes will come into your life, such as you never believed possible. You will truly gain a new lease on life. It is surprising how many times this great power, the power to choose, if used correctly, could make a person's life what he wants it to be. One young man had a very unusual experience. He found that every time he saved up to $70, something would happen. He would have an accident. Some unforeseen difficulty would arise. He just couldn't save over $70. This man will go through life with this problem and difficulty unless he uses this great power, the power to choose, and starts to think differently. Another man found that every time he had a little money in the bank, something would happen so that he just couldn't keep it for any length of time. He went through his whole life with this thought. He could have just as easily used his great power, the power to choose, and changed this thought destroyer. One man was a jack of all trades. He was able to do many things. Although he was successful in everything that he did, nevertheless, he never made any more money. People could not understand why. He was ambitious, he was likable, he had a pleasing personality, but financially, he struggled year after year after year. Finally, this young man had it pointed out to him just what his trouble was. He constantly made the statement, I can do everything well, but make money. Once he began to realize that his big trouble was simply a bad choice of thought, things began to change. Instead of saying, I can do everything well but make money, he began to say, I can do everything well, including making money. Within a few years' time, this man's financial condition changed. He really and truly started to make money. He began to get ahead financially. Until today, people say that he is a rich man. This man could have gone through his whole life doing many things well, but never making any money. As soon as he realized that he was choosing the wrong thought and did something about it, about changing that thought, then his financial condition turned for the better. The power to choose brings about a much better and effective money-making power. Wow, so powerful, yes? How many times have we all decided, okay, from now on, I'm going to think positively. I'm going to choose my words carefully. I am going to begin talking positively, thinking positively. I'm going to talk about abundance versus lack. I'm going to think about abundance versus lack. Our daydreams are going to be positivity and love filled and service filled and prosperity filled. And yet sometimes those daydreams are all replaying a situation in the past that knocked you down, or a fear of the future of something that could later shackle you and knock you down. Y'all, our thoughts control our life, the outcome of our life. And in this small topic around money, the small topic around money, our thoughts make such a huge impact. So what are the thoughts that are coming into your mind around money? Are you like any of the examples in the stories that was shared in Your Greatest Power? Maybe the one who can't ever save over $70. Maybe the one that never can seem to keep cash. Once you have it in your pocket, it just goes. Maybe you're one that says, I can't afford it. Oh no, I don't have enough money for that. I can't afford it. What we speak about, we bring about. We know this from teachers of the past. What we speak about, we bring about. So if we're wanting to change one area of our life, and in this week, we're talking about the wealth factor. And if you're wanting to change that one area of your life, then how about changing the way you speak and the way you think around that area? Make your words ones of possibility and prosperity. Change it right there in the moment. If you're speaking with a friend and they're inviting you to something and you start to say the words, I can't afford it, stop mid-sentence, stop after the sentence and say, cancel clear, cancel clear. I would love to do this. I would love to do this with you. And I will. One day coming up soon, I am doing that with you. However it is that you need to word it in order to be true for you, because we don't want to do is knock down our hope factor. Hope is what gets us through life. Hope is what has us continuing on and persevering, especially when it's God's confidence kind of hope, not the earthly hope of, Crossing your fingers, hoping to die. Remember how we used to do that when we were kids? Cross your fingers, hope to die, stick 1,000 needles in my eye, right? We used to do that. Cross our fingers. Oh, I hope I get that. No. Hope is about God's confidence hope, about moving forward with the hope and the knowledge and the faith that these words that are now coming out of your mouth, these words of prosperity, these words of abundance now coming out of your mouth are going to create a new life for you. They're going to create something different for you. Walk along this journey with me, changing our thoughts this week around money, around wealth, around our position with that. Join me in this process. Catch yourself every time you start to say, I can't afford it. I don't have the money. Oh, that won't happen for me because I never have the money to do it. All of those thoughts, negative thoughts around lack and around not having enough, catch those and just toss them out, cancel, clear them, and begin with a new thought pattern. I am prosperous. I am prosperity. And like Rockefeller said, one day I'm going to be a millionaire. One day I am going to be free. One day. And let's watch it happen. This is so fun, y'all. So fun. This was part 2 of the summer series on Ashley's Heart Song. We are reading the book, Your Greatest Power by J. Martin Kohe. Your Greatest Power by J. Martin Kohe. And I hope you join me for the rest of this journey. Next week is about choosing conditions. That one is going to be mind-blowing. That one will be mind-blowing. So join me next week as we learn more about choosing conditions and how we have that power within us to choose conditions. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me this week on Ashley's Heart Song. Join me next week as we continue to armor up our lives. I'll see you then.